Good evening, everyone. Severe Weather Team 9 meteorologist Nathan Chudd here for your weather update on this Thursday evening. Friday almost upon us, and unfortunately, a lot of what we saw today carries over into your Friday. So, yes, we're ending that work week dreary and cool, but I will say much more dry, as we are not going to be tracking nearly as much rain ahead for your Friday or even into Saturday, but an area of low pressure maintaining a lot of cloud cover the next couple of days. Likely going to be spotting that shower activity centered further towards our east Friday and into Saturday, even looking just east of Pittsburgh, Washington, PA, even setting up, looking more central and into the central and west part of PA. But again, likely centered just east of our area. So without further ado, let's jump into things, shall we? Again, thanks so much for tuning in on this Thursday evening. This edition of Nate at 8, showers early on tonight. They're scattered, but they're here. We'll see them continue early tonight, then taper off for the latter part of tonight. And from there, mostly dry conditions will be maintained going through Saturday. Still can't rule out a shower too, but overall, not a whole lot of rain the next couple of days, and a lot more cloud cover than rain the next couple of days, as it does remain cloudy and cool. Our high temperatures still very similar to what we have for today for both Friday and Saturday. So anticipate these afternoons to feel essentially the same as what we felt today and yesterday, continuing into Saturday. It's Sunday then that we'll start to spot more of that sunshine. And that's also then when we're going to spot noticeably warmer temperatures as we're going to climb back closer to 60 degrees. And our current temperatures right now residing around 50, close to where that high was. In fact, sitting right at that high at 49 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Our temperature trend over the last couple of weeks, well, certainly here as of recent, has been noteworthy. We even had a day where temperatures barely climbed the 40s earlier the week on Tuesday. And you notice since this past Sunday, we've had temperatures sit below 60 degrees for a high. Today then marked the fifth day in a row where high temperatures failed to reach 60 degrees. And again, today, even failing to reach 50 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. And we already mentioned it, looking ahead 5 days now, there's 6 on Friday, and there's 7 days in a row on Saturday where high temperatures will likely fail to reach 60 degrees. By Sunday, yes, we're likely nearing it. If we don't hit it Sunday, we're going to hit it on Monday. In fact, we're closer to 70 degrees Monday. That looks to be our one and only day here as we go through the middle of next week where temperatures are above normal. We're back closer to 70. That also looks to be the warmest day over the next week as well. Temperatures fall back closer to 50 the next Tuesday and Wednesday. However, it does look like temperatures will pick back up going into Easter Sunday, and we could be back into the 60s and maybe even some 70s in the mix into the following week. So yes, while it is quite cool here going through the rest of this week and into a good portion of next week, it does look like for that following week, following Easter Sunday, I think we can string together some more 60s, maybe some 70s. It does look a bit warmer into that period. So if you're not a fan of these cold temperatures or these cool temperatures going through this stretch, give it, unfortunately, not next week, but the week after. And I think we can see a stretch of a bit warmer temperatures, at least coming our way. But this stretch that I've been mentioning, which again is likely going to be 7 days before we break it on Sunday, is something that's fairly noteworthy. It's nothing record breaking, but it is noteworthy. Looking at consecutive days of high temperatures below 60 degrees in the month of April for the Wheeling area, at least since 2000, we are among rare company to see a week or longer consecutive days below 60 degrees. The most of recent years was 2007, 15 days straight. How about half the month straight in 2007 in April where those high temperatures failed to reach 60 degrees? Certainly a cool stretch there. In recent years, it's 2022. So the most recent, I should say, 2022 is the last time we had a week or longer of high temperatures below 60 degrees in the month of April. So it's been a few years since we've had this long a stretch. And again, likely will go down as at least 7 days straight here for this year, where we're seeing those high temperatures below 60 degrees. So certainly an unseasonably cool stretch of weather. And how about this? We discussed this yesterday and it's coming to fruition. How about this? We're seeing that cell right now. We're registering some lightning there in Noble County. We mentioned yesterday that potential for a thunderstorm going into this evening. And how about that? Actually managed to come to fruition. Now, where we're seeing that set up into Noble County, and it looks like the lightning strike the one One lightning strike register within that heavier cell in Noble County. This is where we did see some more clearing. So we noticed more clearing into central and into east central Ohio and eventually into parts of our area. Noble County was one of those locations into this evening where we did manage to spot a little bit of sunshine breaking out. Not a whole lot in our area, but we did manage to see some sunshine break through into portions. Noble County, one of those locations. And it's generally along south of I-70 where there's a little more fuel for the potential for a rumble of thunder. And that's, the potential is there mainly along south of I-70, not so much north of I-70, just going to be dealing with the shower activity. Now, that being said, we're not anticipating anything severe, right? This is nothing strong, severe thunderstorm and not anticipated. But just like what we saw, that rumble of thunder is possible within those heavier cells that can center up along and south of I-70. So how about that? Did manage to actually have there into Noble County. That cell that is just moving just towards the east of Caldwell to the northeast of Caldwell, moving towards east towards Woodsfield. Did manage to see some lightning within that cell. How about that? A rumble of thunder for this evening, getting enough clearing to see just enough destabilization to support some lightning within that cell into Noble County. And we'll see these showers continue again. Maybe that rumble of thunder south of I-70 here early on tonight. And from there, while this activity subsides, even leading up to midnight, we're likely drying back up. And we're going to be staying dry then and likely as we go through the latter part of tonight. And you'll notice while we did get some clearing here early tonight, those cloudy skies return. So this is short-lived. We're back to some more dreary, cloudy skies returning across the area by Friday morning. And likely continues then as we go throughout the day Friday. I don't think we're spotting much, if any, sunshine throughout the day. And now you'll notice a lot of precipitation, right? There's not going to be a whole lot around going throughout Friday. And I think the best chance we have to pick up another shower or two is going to be Friday night into Saturday. Again, notice how a lot of that shower activity at that point is still going to be centered just towards our east. So again, not a whole lot to deal with, but maybe another shower or two in general at times here as we go over the next couple of days. A lot of cloud cover, though, holding tight as we go through Saturday. It's not until Saturday night into Sunday that we finally start to spot some more clearing in our skies. And once we start to spot more of that sunshine on Sunday, then temperatures can climb back out of the 50s and closer to 60 degrees for a high into Sunday afternoon. And then again, Monday, we're climbing even closer towards that 70-degree mark. Lola joining us this evening. Saying good evening to you as well, Lola. These dreary days need to go. It's rough, isn't it? Unfortunately, again, a couple more ahead before we start to spot more sunshine on Sunday. I know it's not the news we want to hear, but that is reality. But again, I will say that at least we're not dealing with a lot of rain with these dreary days the next couple of days. It looks mostly dry Friday and Saturday. Glad it's going to be warming up soon. Yeah, it's going to be nice to near that 70-degree mark on Monday. And yeah, we're getting back to some cool days around the middle of next week. But I will say, I do think going into Easter weekend and that following week, that we can start to spot a stretch here of some warmer days, especially with respect to these highs around 50. I think there's a good chance for some warmer days, at least getting closer to 60 plus. I think we have a good chance for that going into that following week. So certainly I'm going to be looking forward to that. That's for sure. Shelly's joining us saying, thanks for keeping us updated. You're very welcome. Thanks for tuning in this evening, Shelly. So there's a future cast into Sunday where we're all going to be looking forward to is some of that sunshine returning going into the second half of this weekend. And like I mentioned in your 9+1 day forecast, temperatures continue to climb up into Monday. We're nearing 70. I think we would actually hit the 70s Monday, but we're going to be seeing the skies turning cloudy. We're going to be watching for some showers moving in later in the day. And the arrival time of those showers, which were more in line with Monday night, now getting pushed back more into Monday afternoon, evening. So the earlier arrival time of those showers, unfortunately, can cool us, trend us a little bit cooler when we're dealing with more cloud cover and some showers in the mix. It can stop us from getting into the 70s on Monday. And while, still warmer with respect to the next couple of days, we may stay just shy of that 70-degree mark when we're dealing with showers moving in later into the day. This is with a cold front passage. And yeah, our temperatures then falling back towards 50 Tuesday into Wednesday. Can have some showers lingering into Tuesday. And by Wednesday, those should taper off. And with the cool day on Wednesday with a mix of sun and clouds, we have a chance for another shower, then mixing back in Thursday into Friday with highs lingering around 60. And then we look to climb into the 60s going into Easter weekend. Good amount of sunshine next Saturday. Start to see more clouds next Sunday. It's a little early to call yet on Easter Sunday, but as it stands now, it certainly doesn't look real wet. Not a chance for a shower, but not a great chance. Of course, this is way too early to make any call on Easter Sunday. But I will say, though, temperatures do look to pick back up in Easter Sunday. So while the chance of precipitation may still be a bit in question, it does look like temperatures overall are at least seasonable, if not a little bit above normal. It certainly looks not to be a real cool day, I should say, into Easter Sunday. So temperatures look to pick up going into Easter Sunday with respect to what we're going to see around the middle of next week. And like I said, taking a preview into that following week, I think we can string together some at least a more prolonged period of high temperatures near, if not above 60. So I think we can see some overall a stretch of some warmer days into that following week, especially with respect to this cool stretch going into this weekend. Lan says, any severe weather coming our way? No, not anticipating any severe threat. Tonight, again, we have that potential, which we already saw in Noble County for a rumble of thunder and some of these heavier cells that's mainly along south of I-70 is that potential here locally as we go through this evening. From there, no severe threat. Again, not even a whole lot of rain really Friday into Saturday, but a couple showers are possible. From there, going through Sunday, obviously no severe threat. Monday, maybe some thunderstorms in the mix later to the day Monday. It's going to be too early at this point to call severe risk, but maybe getting a chance for a thunderstorm later to the day Monday with ahead of that cold front. That is something we'll watch for. That'd be our next chance that we would have for any thunderstorms in the mix. And as we get closer to Monday, then we'll make the call and the potential for any severe thunderstorms at that point once we get closer to Monday. It's just a little too early to make any calls for that going into next week. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. I know that these days less than ideal with these clouds in place and cool temperatures. We got to get through 2 more days of a lot of what we saw today. But again, much drier going into your Friday and Saturday with respect to what we had, especially into the more first half of today. A lot drier the next couple of days. By Sunday, we get to look forward to more sunshine and temperatures back near 60. And then by Monday, even closer to 70. At that point, we'll track the more rain moving in later into the day. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Catch me coming up on Newsnight at 10 on Fox 9. Newsnight tonight at 11. Of course, make sure to stay tuned right back here for your Friday evening edition of Nate at 8. We'll have the latest on tracking some of that sunshine returning into Sunday. And of course, have the latest on that following round of some rain into next week as well. I'll see you all then. Until then, have a great night.